In this video today, we're going to be working on this Ford Transit. It has a hard start condition, especially when it's cold. The diagnostic process of figuring out what the problem is. I've got a lot of other videos on this particular Ford Transit and a lot of other transit repair videos. Do check it out. Links are in the description below, on the comments, or on my channel. Just go up and look up camper reviews to see the camper reviews, or go to my Ford Transit playlist to see the repair videos. This particular one is a Kia Dreamtime, an RV built here in New Zealand. So stay tuned for this review that's coming. And I've also got another one on a Kia Endeavour, so do check that out. It should pop up here now, or just check out my camper reviews. So come in and we'll step in and I'll show you where the batteries are on this particular model. Because we're dealing with a hard starting condition, the first thing I would recommend is checking your batteries. On this Mark 7, it's got dual batteries underneath the driver's seat. So if I slide it forward here, it's got two batteries in parallel. What we need is a multimeter. We'll put that in volts. So as you can see, this is a good battery. I've taken off the surface voltage by turning on the lights. So we know it's stabilizing at about 12.6 to 12.7. So these are a good set of batteries. We've established that. Once you have established that your battery is also fine, then we can move on to the next step. If not, make sure you charge these batteries up fully before moving on to diagnosing the glow plugs. If you find that after charging the batteries, it still doesn't hold voltage, you'll have to replace both of them. The tools you require, I like to have a multimeter like I showed you earlier, an impact wrench, which I'll show you why, and a small socket set. So we come in here, this is the secondary fuse box that we need to look into. We'll open it up by pushing this tab. It's got two little clips, pull that out, and now we want this diagram over here. We know that we have a hard starting condition, so we're going to look at the glow plug relay, which is R2, and the fusible link, which is over here. That's fuse 15. So we'll start by always looking at the fusible link. As you can see, this one's got a massive blow in it, so this one's blown quite badly. The relay can be pulled out. Once you pull it out, you'll know instantly if this coil has failed in here. Watch till the end of the video. I'll show you how to diagnose this relay, how to bench test it. So stay tuned. So for the moment, we know we've got a dead short somewhere, which has caused this fusible link to blow. So we'll need you either have an auto ranging multimeter or just set it to 20 volts. What we want to check now is, we know this is blown, but if you did not know this was blown, let me show you what the procedure is. So we'll go ahead and pull this relay out. This is the start relay. We'll use this as an example, as a testing procedure. I like to have this crocodile clip, and I like to use this point, the eye hook here, as a ground, just over there. So what we're testing for now is, if we look at these relays, we've got 5, 3, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is the controlled circuit. So when it gives you the signal, when you first turn on the ignition, this switches on and then this transfers. It's basically like a switch. So what we want to see on this rail over here, there should be 12 volts. As you can see, so on the start side, we've got 12 volts. Now if I check the same thing on the glow plug relay, we have no voltage over here. We have no voltage because this fuse is blown. Now we do not want to replace this fuse because we know there's a short. So what we'll do now is, we'll start moving on to the rail side, where the feed supplies the glow plugs. Your glow plugs are deep inside here, and there's one single rail that runs the positive on the nut on each side. So there's 1, 2, 3 and 4. They're very deep in there. I'll cover the replacement of these glow plugs in a separate video, but we're doing the diagnostic work today. So what we're looking for is this nut over here. So this little pigtail that runs here. This one over here. This is your main feed to that line, to the glow plugs. So what we'll do next is, we'll move our multimeter. Now we've still left that on ground. So that's still grounded. So we've got a negative side. We'll turn our multimeter to ohms. Make sure the ignition is off and make sure you have no voltage. And make sure the relay is off when testing. Now what we'll do is, we'll take this and we'll just touch it here. Instantly that tells me that there's a short somewhere, because this should be an isolated line and there should be no continuity here to ground. So there's a short somewhere here. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take this nut off now. This is why I said to have an impact gun handy. We need this sometimes because that nut rusts in place, and if it does rust in place, it won't come off and you'll break this isolator, the plastic isolator. So I like to always use an impact gun, hold the whole isolator tight. So hold the whole thing here so it doesn't move. And then what you want to do is with the impact, go ahead and open it. If your one is rusted, use a bit of penetrating fluid to ensure that it does release. And we'll go ahead and remove this. Now that we've removed that nut and we've lifted up the lug above it, what we want to do is use a bit of tape, insulation tape or anything, because if this fuse is not blown, you will have constant 12 volts here. And if this accidentally touches any of the lines, you will short circuit the whole system. So we're doing this because we want to isolate the whole system. So now with that cable still on my ground or my negative, I'll go ahead and test it. So this terminal post over here, that nut over there, it should not be showing me continuity at the moment because this runs to all the glow plugs. This is the main line, which you'll see now what it looks like. So this tells me that there's a definite short in one of the glow plugs and we have to further diagnose it, but that tells me that that's the problem. If you want to confirm it, now I'll show you how to make sure that your ECU and your trigger lines are all working fine. So what we'll do now is we'll change this back into volts. We'll leave that over there. What you can do is remove this relay again. Like I showed you over here on the start side, there should be a constant 12 volts. So I'll put this back here, my red probe, and it's on voltage. I'll go ahead and remove the blown fuse. But again, note that I've disconnected the lug over here. So do not try this if you're not isolated the circuit. We'll take out the fan fusible link, which is also 60 amp. And as soon as I put it here, it should show me 12 volts. So this pretty much establishes that this side of the wiring is all perfect and all of this is working fine. I'll go ahead and reinstall that back here. So that's a quick way to check, and now you know everything from this part, from the ignition side, from the ECU side, all of that is fine and it's coming here. So the fault lies in this sector over here. Next, I'll show you how to check the trigger signal from the ECU. So we'll move on to that next, but we'll reinstall this blown fuse back in its original position. We'll reinstall this cable over here because we know one of the glow plugs are short, and that's not a problem now because the fuse is blown. So I'll go ahead and put this back and I'll cover the replacement of the glow plugs in another video. Now to test the trigger signal from the ECU, what we want to do is come to this point over here, the control side, put your probe over here, and you want someone to go in and turn on the ignition. As soon as the ignition turns on, you should see this go up to 12 volts, which you see it over there. So if I take that out and I put it back here, so that instantly tells me that the glow plug control module is working perfectly fine and we're getting the trigger signal. So the only fault that lies in this vehicle is with the glow plugs. So now we can go safely and replace, you wouldn't just replace one glow plug, just replace them all at once. On the Mark 6 Ford Transits, that's from the year 2000 right up to about 2006, there's a fusible link and it's a wire that's just over here. So just note that this system is completely different. On the Mark 7s, they're completely updated and they've got the fusible link, so it's got the big fuse over here. But on the Mark 6, it's a completely different setup. So check that out. I've got the full video on the Mark 6. So make sure you check out my Ford Transit playlist. On the Mark 6, I go into detail on the glow plug replacement and the fusible link problem. So that's on this particular Mark 7. I've shown you how to diagnose it if you've got a hard starting condition. That's the electrical side. Stay tuned and subscribe because I'll have another video coming on the glow plug replacement on this model, now that we know that the glow plugs are at fault and there's no other problem in the wiring system. So I hope this video was of some help to you. I know a lot of people have struggled with the glow plug wiring on the Ford Transits. So that's why I thought I'd make this video that goes into depth on this particular setup. So stay tuned, subscribe, and do check out my other camper review videos on these Ford Transits. Thanks for watching, everyone. Diagnostic software, I've just gone ahead and scanned the ECU. I left this part to the end of the video because not everyone has access to a scan tool. That's why I did it the old-fashioned way, using the multimeter and just showing you how to test the glow plug circuit. But if you do have access to a scan tool, we've got a P037D. That clearly tells us that we do have a glow plugs relay sense circuit problem. So in other words, the ECU is trying to sense the signal, but it's not picking it up. That's because of that blown fuse with the possible short circuit on one of the glow plugs. Looking for this circuit here. So this glow plug, which is relay number 2. So we'll go ahead and we'll test this relay, and I'll show you how to test it. It just pulls out. So it just pulls out like so, and this is the part number if anyone needs it. In order to test the relay, I like to have a set of leads like so, the crocodile clips, and just a 9-volt battery. 12-volt battery is ideal, but if you don't have that, that's fine. Now what we're looking for is number 1 and number 2. That's the control side of the circuit, and this is the output side. So the feed to the glow plug, to the glow plugs. So what we'll do first is, with your multimeter, go ahead and set this to continuity. First we'll check the control side of the circuit. It should show continuity. If it doesn't, that means it's an open circuit. So you can set it to ohms or continuity, whichever. If you have got the specifications, you can measure the ohms. So as you can see, we've got continuity between the control side of the circuit. Now what we'll do is we'll move this one over here. So now we're going to check it when we switch this. So now I've got the green and the yellow back on the controlled circuit. Go ahead and connect up your negative and your positive. So with one lead, you should be able to hear an audible click. Hopefully you can hear that. So that click shows that the relay is working. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and activate the relay. Let me show you something. So we'll go ahead and touch this side of the relay, and we'll go ahead and put. So as you can see, there's no continuity. So that tells me that there's no output between the feed and to the glow plug. That's because we haven't connected up or activated the relay. Now I'll go ahead and activate it. Put this one here, and I'll go ahead and put this one here. And you just heard the click. So now we'll go ahead and do the test again now that it's been activated. And as you can hear, so if I go ahead and disconnect the battery, you heard it's open circuit now. If I connect it again, it's working. This relay is good, and that's how you test it.